It was doubleheader day in Group B in the ICC T20 World Cup Qualifiers 2021, and the first game was to be played between Scotland and PNG, two teams with varied fortunes in the tournament so far. Scotland, in their first game, had beaten Bangladesh, defended 140, while PNG looked rusty in their opener versus Oman and suffered a one-sided loss. But here, Scotland won the toss and elected to bat first, and to everyone's surprise, PNG looked like a far more improved side on the field. They removed both the Scottish openers inside the power play and looked threatening in the field as well. They were holding on to their catches too. But then a 92-run stand between Richard Berrington and Matthew Cross meant that it not only steadied the ship but also made Scotland look threatening. At one point, when that partnership was hitting its peak, it looked like Scotland would go on to make 180. In fact, after Matthew Cross was out, Richard Berrington carried on hitting his shots and it looked like he would take Scotland to 180, but he was dismissed in the 19th over, and then the Scottish batsman came out all guns blazing in the 20th over only to fall, as Kabua Morea picked 3 wickets in his final over, ending the innings with 4 wickets to his name, while Chad Sober picked 3 wickets for 24 from his 4 overs. Now remember, Scotland at one point were 155 at the end of the 19th over. They were looking good for 170 even from then, but those 4 wickets in the final over and just 10 runs meant that they still had a very healthy 165 on the board, but they'd be disappointed that they didn't get to 170. But this is a side who defended 140 against Bangladesh in their last game, so their bowling had a lot of merit in their ranks, and merit they showed as they dismissed half the PNG side inside the power play, and it looked like all but done for the PNG. But then a very sensible knock first from Sesebau, and then the attack from Norman Vanua, who stitched crucial partnerships with Kiplan Doriga and Chad Soper, meant that at one point Scotland were under pressure and it seemed like the unachievable could be achieved by PNG. They could script history here, but then a flurry of wickets and then Norman Vanua's wicket in the 18th over meant that a full stop was put on that innings, and PNG, although they fought, they put a good score on the board eventually and batted till the 20th over, could not win this game, as Scotland registered a 17-run win and made it 2 wins in 2 for them in the qualifiers, putting them in a prime position to make it to those Super 12s. The second game of the day was a crucial one. Bangladesh were taking on Oman. To remain in the hunt for that Super 12, Bangladesh needed to win this game. Oman were coming off a comprehensive win against PNG and had a lot of confidence. Bangladesh won the toss and opted to bat first, and their failure to chase 140 in the previous game against Scotland was showing here again. The batters seemed rusty. They lost 2 wickets inside the power play, but then a solid 80-run stand between Mohammad Naeem and Shakib not only stabilized their innings but also gave them a lot of impetus. It seemed like if these two kept batting, they could even get 180. But then Shakib was gone. The score read 101 for 3. It would only go downhill from there though for Bangladesh, who lost their next 3 wickets for just 23 runs. That included the wicket of Mohammad Naeem as well, who scored a brilliant 64, which meant that Bangladesh could huff and puff to just 153, which was a good total on this pitch, but far from what they seemed like getting once Shakib and Naeem were batting together. The biggest threat for Bangladesh was going to be Jatinder Singh in this innings. Jatinder showed what he was capable of in that last game against PNG, and here he was at it again. He was spacing the chase brilliantly, he was keeping the run rate under check, hitting those occasional boundaries, and while wickets kept falling around him, you saw that Jatinder was out there doing his job almost to perfection. And you needed an experienced pro from Bangladesh to step up. And when they need one experienced pro to stand up, they always look at Shakib. Shakib came in, got Jatinder Singh, got another couple of wickets in his next over, and that kind of derailed Oman's chase completely. Mustafizur Rahman, who'd picked 2 up top, also came back to pick 2 more wickets, ending with 4 wickets. At one point, he seemed like he was threatening to pick another 5er in a T20 World Cup game, but that was not to be, as Bangladesh registered a 26-run win over Oman, kept their hopes alive, gave their net run rate a bit of impetus, and all in all, stayed alive in the hunt for that Super 12. As things stand in Group B, it seems to be going down right to the wire in that race to the Super 12. As for other things, Group A also has interesting matches lined up. Be sure to stay tuned to Cricbuzz for all updates on that and on all things cricket. My name is Tanay Tiwari. Thank you so much for watching.